Hello everybody, welcome to My Hero Academia, chapter number 358 review. This chapter is titled, The Guy Who's Made Some Progress. Now, last chapter, chapter number 357, we pretty much saw All For One use some of Ares' rewind stuff to rewind himself to his past version. And with that, we learned that wounded heroes are the scariest. I can't believe it. So this chapter cuts away from there, as last thing we saw was Deku riding through the wind and, seeing something. We don't really know what that is yet. So this time we start off in the UA high in the sky as we see, Shigaraki doing his stuff as he's yelling, "So all you can do is flee?" As we see, he's just wrecking the entire place and doing his sort of thing. He arrows some of his arm growth stuff at Sun Eater, Tamaki, and looks like he hits him. Nejire does her thing of, "Oh no, Sun Eater," as she gets almost blasted herself. And Best Genius does some stuff saying, "Keep on your toes, we have to keep moving." There's not a Gene pun in there. Very interesting. But he does his thing, doing all of that. And when we just see Mirko and Bakugo just also targeting him and fighting him, as they say, "Lest he swallow us up, continue to evade the target at his core." And pretty much you're all just doing your best to attack and to find this Shigaraki that is going out of control in these ways. The Genist also says, "The surging hands are surely a massive threat, but in exchange he's forsaken that mobility, resilient of all mights," as we see that Edge Shot is also going through and using his Edge Shot powers to go and harm Shigaraki, I guess. Make a whole bunch of precision cuts as he uses a Ninpo, Pulp Thread Throttle. And he does his whole thing. Edgeshot then says, "He asserts that this is not the doing of quirks, but rather simple growth. A dubious claim." And at this point, Shigaraki, All For One, says something. "The more All For One quirk takes root within me, the more my body adapts to the legion of stockpiled quirks within, along with various environmental factors. My body is searching, grouping around for an ideal form. Understand? Shinya Kamiahara," which is interesting because I don't know if we knew before that Edgeshot's real name was Shinya Kamiahara. You know what? I've got the official data book back there on my shelf. Let me go look and I'll be back in a second. Hello everybody, I'm back and looking at the Ultra Analysis data book under the profile. It sure does say the Edgeshot's name is Shinya Kamiahara. Alrighty then. Really needed to know that. I mean, how else are you going to show that you're a true My Hero fan? Alright, next we go to more of Shigaraki All For One's speech. He's going and saying, "With this body and this power, all will come to rest in the palm of my hand, giving rise to a world of my own, or one beyond me entirely. Appearance, form, function. For a world split beyond any hope of a status quo, all that awaits is schism and destruction. These massive disparities give rise to incomprehension, and that lack of understanding, in turn, leads to dread and rejection. That's the present state of the world. No? But under my rule, all will be united as the exploited class. All will be equal. Don't heroes yearn for a world in peace? Is that hard to imagine actually taking a step towards that?" And that is the end of Shigaraki's thing for now. And during this, there's some really cool visuals. The visual on, what page is this? I think it's page 8. Shigaraki just looks really cool. He's got a cool, style to him. And it just really works for what Horikoshi's trying to get across here. Of this thing of Shigaraki All For One, or more All For One, has a ideal for the world. It doesn't quite meet expectations. But then Bakugo cuts in as he's running up using his explosion stuff, and he says, "Look, I don't know if that's Shigaraki or All For One droning on right now, but either way, I'm about to hurl from hearing it. Ever since Kamino, nothing but yap, yap, yap. Hope you're ready to be Swiss cheese." As we see, Bakugo has now unveiled a new attack mode. The Suppressive Heavy Mobile Unit Strafe Panzer. As we see Bakugo sort of squirting down on the ground, and off of his back, he's got a whole bunch of guns coming up. So he looks like a cool Digimon with all these guns coming out of the back of him, and he looks like he's ready for it. Really cool visual and all. But Mirko says, "Gotta destroy his real body. All of us together." And Bakugo's like, "What? As a team?" As we sort of cut around to what Bakugo's thinking. And he's like, "While Monoma and Sensei still have got all of Shigaraki's quirks locked down at Feracer, while Kaminari's team is keeping the arena powered up, and while Yaoyorozu and them are replacing the ground for us to stand on." And Bakugo also is thinking back to when Deku saved him from the sludge monster in Chapter 1, and he's thinking, and that lack of understanding, in turn, leads to dread and rejection. As we see Bakugo building up all this stuff, and he says, "You want to talk about some big disparity, lack of understanding, dread? Guess what? I've long since taken all of that crap to heart." And he says, "I've seen a real step towards progress with all of that. But it may take some time. But the people I know are trying to push forward. Thanks anyway, but you can shove your Sherman, you nutsack-faced handyman." And all of this time, Betsy is like, "Bakugo, no! Great explosion, murder god, Dynamite!" As Bakugo uses his new move, is thinking, "All I want to know is how to pack my new punch even better," as he proclaims, "Howitzer Impact Cluster." And that is the end of the chapter. Now, this chapter has a lot of very interesting things in it. First off, first few panels are just the action stuff that My Hero and most other shonen series are known for. Edgeshot does something. I don't know, his name's Shinya Kamiahara. Great to know. Then Shigaraki sort of gives his speech on the entire thing, sort of building it up and saying, "Hey, this is what I want. Appearance, form, function. A world that is equal." And then, of course, Bakugo using his suppressive heavy mobile unit to help take down, and it shows that the chapter title is true. As a character, Bakugo has evolved. In the beginning, he was that sort of egotistical brat who didn't want anything to do. He would rather bully Deku than admit that he was better than him at points. And now he's sort of like, everybody is coming together for this one instinct. We have to win this. And just the final move of him harming Shigaraki is just really good overall. Of course, this isn't going to kill Shigaraki. If this were to kill Shigaraki, then that would mean Deku would most likely be dealing with All For One, which I don't think is really the battle that has been set up. It has always been Deku and Shigaraki, being that at the end of the war arc, Deku is like, he needs saving. Shigaraki, the boy inside him, has to be saved. And this is just not leading to that satisfying conclusion. Not that My Hero in general has been satisfying lately. I mean, we've had good chapters and other chapters. Like, I'm looking back on them like, alrighty. But in the end, this is a good chapter. It shows Bakugo, he has definitely made that character development. After he apologized to Deku, it was great. We saw him make progress. After this, he's making even more progress. So it's just really that good string of consecutive, this is a guy who's made some progress. But that's all I've got to say. Thank you for watching this review. This is chapter, again, 358. And, I don't know. let's go for my hero. And I'll see you next time. Glowplasma231 out.